Hello everyone, I'm 90 years old. And if there's one thing I've learned over the years, it's that life doesn't slow down, it just changes. Reaching this age has given me a unique perspective on what truly matters as we grow older. I've seen friends struggle with health issues, financial worries, and loneliness, but I've also seen people thrive by making smart choices early on. That's why I feel it's important to share my experiences with you today. If you're approaching 70 or already there, this is the perfect time to take control of your future. Over the years, I've realized there are 5 key things that can make all the difference in how we enjoy our later years. From staying on top of your health to ensuring financial security and cherishing every moment. These lessons have helped me live a fulfilling life, and I hope they help you too. But I don't want this to be a one-way conversation. What do you think is the most important thing to focus on as we age? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. 5. Focus on enjoying life and creating memories. Turning 70 is a milestone that makes you reflect on life in a way you never have before. Suddenly, you realize that time is more precious than ever. In my younger years, I was always caught up in responsibilities. Work, raising a family, paying bills, meeting deadlines. But now I see things differently. At 70, it's no longer about chasing success or proving yourself. It's about cherishing every moment, surrounding yourself with the people who truly matter, and making the most of the years ahead. One of the biggest lessons I've learned is the importance of spending time with loved ones. When you're younger, you assume you'll always have more time. You push off visits, cancel plans, and tell yourself, I'll do it later. But at this stage, I understand that later isn't guaranteed. I've started prioritizing time with my children, grandchildren, and close friends. It's not about grand gestures, just simple moments like having coffee with an old friend, watching my grandchildren play, or sharing stories from the past with my family. Those little moments are the ones that stay with you. Another thing I've committed to is revisiting places that bring me joy. There are spots that hold memories, places where I laughed, loved, and felt truly alive. For me, it's the small beach town where my wife and I spent our honeymoon, the cabin in the mountains where we took family vacations, and even the quiet park where I used to go for evening walks. Going back to these places isn't just about nostalgia. It's about reconnecting with those happy times and appreciating them with fresh eyes. But it's not just about looking back. It's also about embracing new experiences. Just because I'm 70 doesn't mean I've stopped learning or growing. I've taken up hobbies I never had time for before. I've started painting even though I'm not great at it. And I've joined a book club, something I never thought I'd enjoy. I even travel alone for the first time in my life. It's been liberating to try new things without worrying about failure or judgment. When you stop caring about what others think and just do what makes you happy, life feels a lot lighter. Most importantly, I've learned to prioritize happiness over obligations. For most of my life, I felt like I had to do things out of duty, attend events I didn't enjoy, keep up appearances, or say yes when I wanted to say no. But now, I focus on what brings me genuine joy. If I don't want to do something, I don't. If I'd rather spend the afternoon watching the sunset instead of running errands, I do. If I could give advice to anyone reaching 70, it would be this: stop waiting for the right time to enjoy life. The right time is now. Don't put off happiness. Don't postpone that trip. Don't delay that visit. Make the call, take the photo, share the laugh. Because in the end, the only things that truly matter are the moments we create and the memories we leave behind. 4. Stay socially and mentally active. One of the biggest lessons I've learned after turning 70 is that staying engaged, both socially and mentally, is the key to a fulfilling life. I've seen too many people retire, slow down, and gradually withdraw from the world. At first, it seems like a break, but over time, loneliness creeps in and the mind starts to slow down. I didn't want that to happen to me. I knew I had to make an effort to keep my mind sharp and my social life active. The first thing I did was join community groups. It felt strange at first because I hadn't made new friends in years, but I pushed myself to try. I started attending a local seniors club where we have coffee mornings, discuss books, and even take short trips together. I also joined a walking group in my neighborhood. Not only has it kept me active, but it's also given me a reason to look forward to my mornings. Talking to different people, sharing stories, and laughing together has been a reminder that human connection is essential at any age. Another thing that has truly changed my life is taking up new hobbies. When I was younger, I was too busy working and raising a family to explore my interests. Now, I finally have the time. I've taken up painting, something I never imagined I'd enjoy. My hands may not be as steady as they once were, but the joy of creating something with my own two hands is worth it. I also started learning a new language just for fun. It's challenging, but it keeps my brain working in ways it hasn't in years. The excitement of learning something new makes me feel young again. I've also made it a priority to travel whenever I can. Traveling doesn't have to mean going far or spending a lot of money. Sometimes it's just about visiting a nearby town, exploring a museum, or even taking a short train ride somewhere new. Every trip, no matter how small, gives me a sense of adventure and keeps my mind stimulated. Seeing new places, meeting new people, and experiencing different cultures keeps life interesting. Beyond all these activities, the most important lesson I've learned is this: staying socially and mentally active is a choice. It's easy to sit at home, watch TV, and let the days pass by. But I refuse to do that. I make the effort to pick up the phone and call an old friend. I say yes to invitations, even when I feel like staying in. I challenge myself to keep learning, to keep moving, and to keep connecting with the world around me. If I could give one piece of advice to anyone turning 70, it would be this: don't let your world shrink. Keep expanding it. Stay curious, stay involved, and never stop making new memories. The more engaged you are, the more vibrant and fulfilling your life will be. 3. Update your legal documents. When I turned 70, one of the most important things I did, and something I wish I had done sooner, was updating my legal documents. It's not the most exciting topic, and honestly, it's one I avoided for years. But I've seen firsthand the stress and complications that can arise when these things aren't in order. I didn't want to leave my family with unanswered questions, legal battles, or uncertainty about my wishes. So, I made it a priority. The first thing I tackled was my will. I had one drafted years ago, but life changes. People come and go, financial situations shift, and your priorities evolve. I sat down with a lawyer and went through everything carefully. I made sure that my assets were distributed exactly as I wanted, that my family wouldn't have to deal with unnecessary complications, and that there would be no confusion about my final wishes. Having a clear, updated will isn't just about money. It's about giving your loved ones peace of mind. Next, I focused on power of attorney. As much as I'd like to believe I'll always be able to make my own decisions, the truth is none of us know what the future holds. I wanted to make sure that if the time ever comes when I can't make legal or financial decisions for myself, someone I trust will handle things the way I would want. I chose a person I know is responsible, understands my values, and will act in my best interest. This decision alone gave me a sense of relief. But perhaps the most important document I updated was my healthcare directive. I've seen situations where families were forced to make difficult medical decisions for a loved one without knowing what that person would have wanted. I never want to put my family in that position. So I wrote down exactly what kind of medical care I do and do not want in case of serious illness or incapacity. I also made sure my doctors and family members had a copy, so there's no confusion. While updating these documents, I realized something: taking care of these legal matters isn't just about me. It's about protecting my family. I don't want them to argue over what they think I would have wanted. I don't want them to be burdened with unnecessary legal hurdles while grieving. I want everything to be as simple and clear as possible. If I could offer one piece of advice, it would be this: don't put this off. It's easy to say, I'll do it later, but later isn't guaranteed. Take the time now to review your legal documents. Meet with a professional if needed. Make sure your loved ones know where to find them. Updating your will power of attorney and healthcare directives may not be the most pleasant task, but it's one of the most responsible and loving things you can do for yourself and your family. It's not about expecting the worst. It's about being prepared and ensuring your wishes are honored, no matter what happens. 2. Reassess your finances and retirement plan. One of the most important things I did after turning 70 was taking a long, hard look at my financial situation. I'd spent years saving for retirement, but I quickly realized that financial security isn't just about how much money you have. It's about how well you manage it. Life at this stage comes with new challenges, from rising healthcare costs to unexpected expenses, and I wanted to make sure I was prepared for whatever lay ahead. The first thing I did was review my income sources. I went over my pension, Social Security benefits, and any other retirement savings I had. I needed to ensure that my monthly expenses were covered without putting too much strain on my savings. I also spoke with a financial advisor to get a clearer picture of how long my money would last and whether I needed to make any adjustments. Having a solid plan gave me peace of mind knowing that I wouldn't outlive my savings. One major realization I had was that healthcare costs can be unpredictable. As we age, medical expenses naturally increase, and I wanted to make sure I was prepared. I took the time to review my health insurance, Medicare options, and any supplemental plans that could help cover long-term care if I ever needed it. I also made sure I had an emergency fund set aside specifically for medical expenses, so I wouldn't have to dip into my retirement savings for unexpected hospital bills. Another key step I took was downsizing my expenses. I asked myself, do I really need everything I'm paying for? I reviewed my monthly bills, subscriptions, and overall spending habits. I found small ways to cut back without sacrificing my quality of life. Things like canceling unnecessary subscriptions, switching to a more affordable phone plan, and even reconsidering whether I needed such a large home. Downsizing isn't just about saving money. It's about simplifying life and reducing financial stress. Speaking of downsizing, I also evaluated my living situation. Maintaining a big house was becoming more of a burden than a joy. I started considering whether moving to a smaller home or even a retirement community might be a smarter choice in the long run. A smaller space meant fewer expenses, less maintenance, and more freedom to focus on what truly matters. Most importantly, I made sure my financial plans were organized and clear for my family. I didn't want my loved ones to struggle with financial decisions on my behalf if I ever became unable to manage them myself. I updated my will, ensured my power of attorney was in place, and made a list of all my accounts and financial details so my family would have an easy roadmap if they ever needed it. Looking back, I'm so glad I took the time to reassess my finances. It's never too late to take control of your financial future. By reviewing your retirement plan, cutting unnecessary expenses, and preparing for future healthcare costs, you can enjoy your golden years with confidence, knowing that you are financially secure and ready for whatever comes next. 1. Prioritize your health checkups. When I turned 70, I realized that taking care of my health had to become a top priority. I've always known that aging comes with changes, but I didn't fully appreciate just how important regular checkups and preventive care were until I started experiencing minor health issues myself. The truth is, staying on top of our health isn't just about adding years to our life. It's about making sure those years are active, independent, and fulfilling. The first thing I did was schedule a comprehensive medical checkup. At this stage of life, there are so many things that need monitoring: heart health, bone density, blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and cognitive function. I made sure to get tested for any potential issues before they became serious. Catching problems early can make all the difference, whether it's managing high blood pressure, preventing osteoporosis, or keeping my memory sharp. One of the most eye-opening moments for me was when my doctor suggested a bone density test. I had never thought much about bone health before, but I learned that after 70, we are at a much higher risk for fractures and osteoporosis. A simple test helped me understand my bone health and take steps to strengthen it through diet, supplements, and weight-bearing exercises. I started incorporating more calcium-rich foods and vitamin D into my daily routine, along with regular walks to keep my bones strong. Another important checkup I prioritized was heart health. As we get older, our risk for heart disease increases, so I made sure to have my blood pressure and cholesterol levels checked. My doctor recommended some dietary changes, including reducing processed foods and increasing fiber intake. I also started paying more attention to staying active. Even something as simple as daily stretching, light strength training, or a short walk can make a huge difference in keeping our heart strong. One aspect of health that many people overlook is cognitive function. I had heard stories of friends struggling with memory issues, and I wanted to be proactive. I took a cognitive assessment, and while my results were good, I knew I needed to keep my brain active. I made an effort to engage in puzzles, reading, and learning new things, whether it was trying a new hobby or simply having deep conversations with friends. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and I want to do everything I could to keep my mind sharp. In addition to these checkups, I also made sure to stay up to date on vaccinations. At 70, our immune systems aren't as strong as they used to be, so I got my flu shot, pneumonia vaccine, and any other recommended immunizations to avoid preventable illnesses. Looking back, I'm so grateful that I took my health seriously. Aging well isn't just about luck. It's about making smart choices. By keeping up with regular checkups, following medical advice, and staying active, I feel healthier and more energetic than I ever expected at this age. If there's one thing I would tell anyone turning 70, it's this: your health is your greatest asset. Take care of it, and it will take care of you. Turning 70 is a milestone, and taking control of your life in these 5 key areas can make all the difference. Prioritizing health checkups, reassessing finances, updating legal documents, staying socially active, and truly enjoying life are all crucial steps to making the most of this chapter. But which one do you think is the most important? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which of these 5 things do you think is the biggest priority at 70? Or is there something else that should be on this list? Leave a comment below and share your experience. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my videos. See you in the next one.